What's good, folks? It's your boy Isaac, aka Polo, aka Young Polo, back with another edition of Polo Talk Sports. I just been busy with school and other things, so hasn't been some videos in a while. But here's another video. This one's not going to be part of a series or anything like that. It's just going to be a one-time thing, and it's just going to be about the Lakers and what I think our roster should look like going into next season. Obviously, this past season, we're not even gonna speak too much on it, bruh. Like, we all seen what happened. The Lakeshow was not playing like the Lakeshow. I don't even. A lot of frustration, just thinking about this past season. But I'm basically gonna. This video is gonna be me saying what I think our roster should look like going forward. Players I think we should keep is what I'm gonna start with, and then I'm gonna add a list of players that should be available. I'm not 100% sure if these players are free agents or anything like that, but most of these players are probably on short contracts or one-year deals, and they'll probably be available via free agency or via trade. So we'll see. Let's just get right into it. The title of the video is just going to be Lakeshow 2023 Champions because, that's what's going to end up happening. LeBron is putting up 30 per game, and as we just get a team around that, with his passing ability, if AD turns into a basketball player, it seems like he wants to be an assistant coach for real, because he'd just be on the sideline. He's not a player. He's an assistant coach for real. So some of these players got to go. THT, he got to go. Dwight Howard should have been retired. Trevor Ariza, I don't even know what he's doing. He another assistant coach for real. He got to go. But let me just start with the players we keep. So our starting lineup will look something like LeBron and AD. Obviously, the dynamic duo, as long as AD can stay healthy. He's made of glass, but, he just got to put in that work in the offseason to stay healthy. Or like Malik Monk, hopefully we can re-sign him on a contract that fits, his performance, but we can't overpay him because, we got to pay LeBron and AD, and we got to pay everyone else on the roster. We can't pay him like a third star, even though he is a bucket getter. I like Austin Reeves. I believe he should stay on the team. He's our new Caruso, AR-15. He's a white boy about fundamentals, you feel me? He's just a good basketball player. And that's basically it. I don't really think we should keep anyone else. If we end up staying with Westbrook because nobody wants him, I don't think Westbrook was really that much to blame for the season. He played bad, but I just think we got to get a team of shooters and a team of basketball players that fit around LeBron. The same type of players would fit around Westbrook, you feel me? So after those core pieces, Westbrook is iffy. If we can get rid of him, then that's better. But if we have him, he'll be there in that starting lineup as well. So aside from that, here's some players I think we should add. Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, he's a power forward. He's a forward on the Mavs. He's a corner specialist, three-point shooter. He's a decent defender. He's long, and he's just a good basketball player, you feel me? He's got good size, good movement for his size, and he's a corner three-point shooter. He can shoot threes, and he can defend well. He adds length to the lineup, you feel me? So, good player. Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is on the come-up. Obviously, they still got Valanciunas, whatever his name is, down there in New Orleans. So, Jackson Hayes, to some extent, is expendable. He's sort of like a 6th, 7th man for the Pelicans at this point. He's a tall, light skin from Texas. I think he just finished his second season, or they're still in the playoffs, so he's in the middle of his second season. He gets boards. He's a lob master. LeBron loves throwing dimes. He loves centers that can catch lobs. Used to be Dwight Howard before he turned 40 years old. So we need a younger Dwight Howard in essence. And he's an energy guy. You feel me? He'll yam on somebody. Bring the energy. We need more players like that. Too many of our old guys are just so nonchalant. They care about winning, but they don't really want to affect it. You feel me? Next up, we got Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers is such a good basketball player. First of all, he got a nice little handle. He'll cross somebody out his shoes every once in a while. He can get hot. We saw him last year in the playoffs, what they did to the Blazers. Austin Rivers dropped like 20 a few times. He was just, letting it go from three. He turned himself into a good shooter. He's a good basketball player, you feel me? Coach's son. Brian Forbes, my bad. He's a shooter, light skin, I believe. What team is he on? I believe he's on the Bucks right now, if I'm not mistaken. He's just not getting too many minutes, but he's a real life shooter, He's a shooter, and we just need shooters because LeBron with shooters equals championships. We know how that goes. And light skin, he's a nice little basketball player. Tyler Johnson, he's out of the league, you feel me? He's a Bay Area native, I forgot what college he went to, but He was on the Nets. He was on the Heat. He got a little fat. Oh no, he went to Fresno State. I'm tripping. You know, he's a Bulldog. But he was on the Heat for a little bit, got a little payday. He was on the Nets back in the bubble. I think he spent another season with the Nets. I think he's out of the league right now, but he's a youngin'. He can't be more than 28. He's definitely not 30 yet. And he's just a shooter. He'll let it go. So put him with LeBron, you feel me? Like I said, shooters with LeBron equals a championship. Next up, DeLon Wright. Now, he is on the Hawks. This season, this past series, I know Trae Young is a superstar in the making, but DeLon Wright played better than Trae. Trae Young was just, he disappeared in the playoffs. But DeLon Wright's he's a nice little player. I think he started the season on the Pistons, and then he got to the Hawks. And then, you know, he's bounced around a lot, but he's nice. He can finish. He turns himself like Austin Rivers into a good shooter. He's just a good point guard, and he's a good defensive point guard too, which is what we need. We need our guards to be able to shoot and play defense. That's really what we need. And next up, we got Davis Bertans. Now, he's a European. He's on he just got traded from where was he? He was at the Wizards, and now he's on the Mavericks. He's a shooter, you know, but he's a forward and a shooter too, sort of like Dorian Finney-Smith, also on the Mavericks. So they have, you know, he's expendable because, you know, they have Finney-Smith, they have Maxi Kleber or whatever, and I'm pretty sure they like that Kleber guy better than Bertans. But Bertans is a shooter. He'll light it up. He's pretty inconsistent, but every once in a while, he'll go like 7 for 9 from 3, and he'll just give you a bunch of points, and he'll give LeBron a bunch of assists, which is what we need. We just need shooters, and he's long, so, you know, even if he's not the best defender, he's long, so he'll help with length, and he'll help clog up the lane and things like that. You know, he can move his feet probably better than Trevor Ariza at this point. Feel me? And next we got Wesley Matthews. Now, he was just on the Lakeshow. I know we let him go, and I know he's not like all that, but he's still a solid defender, and he can still light you up. Like, he's a three-point shooter. He's a specialist. We need those three-point specialists. Like, he's like a Robert Covington type player, but I'm pretty sure Covington's pretty locked in with the Clippers, which is why I didn't include him on this list. Now, those are, I think, what is that, 7, 8 names right there. There's a few other players that come to mind, but these are some guys that are probably available that, you know, if Rob Pelinka's watching this, bruh, you better, like, try to tap in with some of these guys. Obviously, if we can't get any of them in a trade with Westbrook, some of these guys will be available, or you can trade THT for them. You know, trade some of our expendable pieces to get other teams, you know, others. Like Shaq calls them, the others. We need some nice others. We just need length, shooting, and defense. That's it. That's all we need. And out of the guards, we just need guards that can play good to decent defense. If they're not great defenders, they better be great shooters. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, we just need all-around NBA basketball players. You feel me? Lakeshow, put some of these pieces around LeBron and AD, and I'm guaranteeing a championship, man. I could be an NFL or an NBA GM, and that's on everything. That wraps it up for this video, though. More content coming soon. We out.